Did you know that Genghis Khan, one of history's most notorious conquerors, was buried in such secrecy that no one knows where his remains are? Yeah, you heard that right. The mystery surrounding his final resting place has puzzled historians and adventurers for centuries. Have you ever wondered how one man's thirst for revenge could lead to the deaths of millions, build an empire stretching from China to Europe, and still leave the world guessing about his final resting place? This is the story of Genghis Khan, a man whose bloodline flows through the veins of 16 million people today, and whose fury once claimed the lives of 40 million others. He started as a member of a small nomadic tribe, but his relentless drive for power and revenge shaped one of the largest empires the world has ever known. Even more mysteriously, centuries after his death, no one knows where his body was buried. The story begins in the late 12th century, in 1201, when a young Genghis Khan, then known as Temujin, was a rising force among the Mongol tribes. From a young age, he faced relentless challenges, including betrayals and conflicts within his own family. One of the key turning points was a battle against the powerful tribe of Jamuka, a rival chieftain. Legend has it that during this battle, an arrow nearly took Genghis Khan's life, grazing his neck. For a moment, he thought he had seen death itself, but fortune favored him, and he survived. Genghis Khan was no ordinary warrior. He knew that survival meant more than just brute strength. It required strategic alliances and loyalty. After this battle, he didn't execute the archer who had nearly killed him. Instead, he invited the archer to join his ranks, seeing value in his skill. This was how Genghis Khan operated, always thinking several moves ahead, always expanding his army with the best warriors he could find. Over the next few decades, Genghis Khan's power grew rapidly. He united the Mongol tribes under one banner, turning them into a fearsome force. His empire stretched from the steppes of Mongolia to the borders of China, but his ambitions didn't stop there. By 1205, he set his sights on the Western Xia Empire, also known as Tangut. This agricultural region, rich in resources, was perfect to sustain his massive army of nearly 2 million soldiers. But the Western Xia rulers were no pushovers. The war with them lasted 5 long years, from 1205 to 1210. And though Genghis Khan emerged victorious, it was a hard-fought battle that left his forces weakened. Despite his victory, the Western Xia rulers continued to resist his authority, refusing to provide the military support he demanded. Frustrated by their defiance, Genghis Khan's thirst for revenge reignited. He launched another campaign against them, but this time he had no intention of ruling over them. He wanted to wipe them out completely. Genghis Khan, known for his ruthlessness, was now hell-bent on the total destruction of the Western Xia people. His army moved through the empire like a plague, cutting down soldiers, civilians, and anyone in their way. However, even the mightiest warriors are not invincible. During this campaign, Genghis Khan was struck by an arrow, this time to his knee. But his rage was so overpowering that he ignored the pain and continued leading his army. Despite his injury, Genghis Khan succeeded in obliterating the Western Xia, but his wound would ultimately lead to his demise. The infection spread, and before long, the great Khan was bedridden. As Genghis Khan lay dying, he knew his death would not be the end of his influence. He had already put in place a plan for his funeral, one that would remain shrouded in mystery for centuries to come. Mongol tradition dictated that a ruler's burial site should remain secret, and Genghis Khan took this to an extreme. As his body was transported back to Mongolia, his soldiers killed anyone, human or animal, that crossed their path to ensure no one would ever know where he was buried. When they finally reached his homeland, it is said that 2,000 people attended his funeral. These people, however, weren't there to mourn. They were there to die. The soldiers who carried out Genghis Khan's final wishes did so with ruthless efficiency. After the burial, they slaughtered the funeral attendees, then went even further by driving 1,000 horses over the burial site to trample the earth, making it look like untouched land. To this day, no one has been able to find Genghis Khan's grave, despite countless searches and theories. Some say it's hidden in the Kentai Mountains. Others believe it lies beneath a riverbed. But the truth remains buried with him. What's even more astonishing is that despite his death, Genghis Khan's legacy of destruction wasn't finished. His orders had been clear. Upon his death, 40,000 people were to be executed, fulfilling his final wish for vengeance. This act of posthumous terror cemented Genghis Khan's reputation as one of the most fearsome and powerful rulers in history. The mystery of Genghis Khan's burial is one of the most enduring enigmas of the ancient world. How could a man so infamous, so dominant, simply vanish without a trace? Historians and archaeologists have scoured vast areas of Mongolia in search of clues, but the secret has remained intact for over 700 years. Perhaps it is fitting that a man whose life was defined by conquest and destruction should leave behind such a compelling mystery, one that, like his empire, spans the ages. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,